and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting.
Thank you. Welcome back, Mr. Kambai.
Mr. Kambai, ñu la dalalat.
Before the break, you are talking about what happened to you when you were taken to the NIA and taken before the panel. But before we get into what happened at the panel, can we confirm your date and place of birth?
21st March 1970.
21st March 1970. Where were you born?
Bakau Sanchaba.
Bakau Sanchaba. Thank you very much. So now tell us,
Council, before you get to that question that I was going to raise, or just go ahead and do that. Sorry to interrupt you, but I want to seek just a clarification of a minor point, but for me it's crucial. It probably is a 5-10 minute encounter that you were witness to. You had mentioned that when the American soldiers came to State House, one of them, the first one, I think you talked about two. The first one had been talking to President Jawara, and if you heard the exchange between them, you indicated that the president had said that these were his soldiers, these were men in the armed forces of the Gambia, and he would see them. But at some point, the American soldier wanted him to go. I'm not sure if you were indicating that he didn't want to go, and I think the translation was he took him by the hand. If it was grabbing him or whatever, he did not, and then took him down to the car. There was another American soldier there who, I think again your description was not very clear, that they turned him around, as you put it, and he was then put in the vehicle. You weren't implying, witness, that he did not volunteer to get in that car to go to the American frigate at the port. If you were implying that it was not voluntary, I don't think the Americans came in there to kidnap Jawara, forcibly take him to the vehicle and then get him out of the country. I may be exaggerating it at this point, but that's the implication. Can you just clarify this point at that moment, what exactly happened during that 5-10 minute period that you were witness to between Jawara and the 2 American soldiers? Sorry, interpreter.
Let me try to summarize that. am na loo fi wax bi nga njëkk a wax ca gannaaw xew-xew boo xam ne xew na ci diiri juróomi minute ba diiri fukki minute wax nga ne yaa ngi teewoon jamono joo xam ne soldaari Amérique ñuul na di wax Sir Dawda Jawara pour mu ànd ak moom waaye nga dégg ci kàddu Sir Dawda mu ne moom de du dem ndaxte ñii ay nitam lañ ay soldaari réewam lañ léegi nag mu dal di ko jël xëcc ko ci loxo yóbbu ko xëcc boobu nga doon wax nag gannaaw buñ demee ba ca moto ba ñu fekk fa beneen soldaar kooku tamit jël ko dugal ko ci biir moto bi maanaam li mu muru daal mooy bi mu xëccee loxoom ca njëlbeen dafa mel ni ku doon delloo loxo bi gannaaw li ma bëgg a laajte foofu nag mooy ndax yow ci sa kàddu lim tekki mooy ne Sir Dawda dem boobu mu doon dem bi ko soldaari Amérique bi da wax nañu ànd bi muy xëccee loxoom bi ànd bi mu ànd ak moom dafa ko woon ci coobareem maanaam dafa mel ni daal moom Sir Dawda soldaari américain yi dañ ko forcé yóbbu ko ndax loolu la sa kàddu gi tekki wala déet.
Soldiers Americans bu ñoo ñëw
when the American soldiers came,
dañ ñëw ba ci bunta bi ñu taxaw.
they came to the gate and then they stopped.
Il faut ñu taxaw ndik tam security force bam po state guard.
And they had to stop because at the time there were security forces there of the state guards.
Kay jox president bi information bi.
They gave the president the information.
President bi wàcca upstairs to downstairs.
The president came from upstairs to downstairs.
Like mënu remember man ma ngi taxaw fofu mu ngi wax di security officer bi plain clothes bi.
I can remember because I was standing there and he was speaking to his security officer, the plain clothes officer.
Mu ngi ko wane these are my Gambian soldiers.
And he was telling him, these are my Gambian soldiers.
Su ga ñëwee dina wax ak ñoom.
When they come, I will talk to them.
Any agreement man na ko solve, I'm the president.
And any agreement, I am able to solve it because I'm the president.
Waaye time boobu ga ko jox clearance ne ko am na American soldiers ñëw.
But at that time, they were giving him the clearance that there were some American soldiers that have arrived.
And
that they were at the gate.
Then we give go ahead for you.
And then he gave the go ahead for them to come in. When they came in, they were speaking to him. And he was responding. That is when he stretched out his hand and pulled him, and he sat in the vehicle.
U-turn,
and the vehicle made a U-turn and went away.
Wow.
Yes. That happened there. Well, natural question is, was he forced into the vehicle or was he just pulled into the vehicle, assisted to get in?
Laajte bi mooy moom Sir Dawda soldaari Amérique boobu daf ko forcé mu dugg ci biir moto bi wala daf ko doon jàppale pour mu mun a dugg ci biir moto bi.
Daf ko doon assist.
No, he was assisting him to board the vehicle.
But
if it was done forcefully,
by the time we want disarm,
at that time they are not to ask us to disarm. I do not think that the American soldiers would have come into the State House at that time. Just 3 soldiers. And they did not carry any weapons. I don't think they would have been able to kidnap the president in such a way. Maybe they too had a mission which indicated to them that they should go along with the president. But this is what happened.
Thank you very much for that clarification. So Jawara was not kidnapped by the American soldiers and forcibly taken to the ship.
Waaw jërëjëf ci leeral boobu mi ngi mel ni Jawara kofuñ ko rek forcé ko pour mu dugg ci gaali américain yooyu noonu.
Thank you, Councilman. We continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for those clarifications. Quite helpful indeed. So here we are. You were taken to the NIA by Bobaji. You are left there until the evening and tell us what happened.
Wa legi nak yaangi ni bo ba ji jël na la yobbu la NIA ñu bayyi la fa nak be ca ngon lan mo xew.
Waaw boori 7 o'clock,
Around 7 o'clock,
am bela NIA officer ko ñu wax Kinte.
there was one particular NIA officer by the name Kinte. What's his first name?
Musa Kinte.
Musa Kinte. Yes, proceed.
Musa Kinte ñu ne ma hana Musa Jono wo ki wo dara do baji.
Musa Kinte came to me and said to me, hasn't Bo Baji told you anything?
Manako dedet.
I said to him, no.
Mu ne ma den kay tok ni ci benen neeg bu ndaw.
He said, well, then come and sit here in one small room.
That
was where I sat, and he said he was going upstairs, and if there was anything, he will come back and inform me. That was where I was until 8:30.
8:30, 8 o'clock.
From around 7:30 towards 8 o'clock. Morning or evening? Evening. They came and picked me up from there. They took me to Bambadinka. Who took you from there to Bambadinka?
Bambadinka?
Musa Kinte.
Musa Kinte.
And some security NIA officers.
And some NIA officers.
Lamin Dabo.
Where in the NIA do you call Bambadinka?
Fan ban ci NIA nga ñu oyé Bambadinka.
I think that is their worst cell so far. Where exactly is it located, as far as you can recall?
Ban ci NIA la Bambadinka neka.
When you get into the NIA premises, on your left, upstairs or downstairs?
Ci kaw wala ci suuf?
Suuf sa.
Downstairs. The witness has just identified the same exact location we were told was Bambadinka. Proceed. That was where I was until 2 a.m. They came and collected me. Who?
Lamin
Dabo.
Musa
Kinte.
Third guy you have no go.
I don't know the third guy.
Upstairs.
You took me upstairs. How were you taken upstairs?
Naka lañ la yobbo ci kaw?
Lamin Dabo bala ma gëna ci cell.
Before I came out of the cell, Lamin Dabo,
mu ne daf ma solal nylon bag.
He wanted to put a plastic bag over my head.
Mu ne man am a gentleman.
But he said that I was a gentleman.
He just cuffed ma ci kanam.
So he cuffed my hands in front of me.
Then I escort ma ci go.
And then I was escorted upstairs.
When
I got to the top,
I found a panel like this top.
I found a panel seated just like where we are. Tell us about the composition of that panel.
Panel boobu noonu ñan ñoo ci nekkoon.
Panel bu bari woon na security officers waaye li ci ëpp security officers yëpp NIA la ak police.
There were many security officers in that panel, but most of them were NIA and members of the police force. Can you tell us who you can recall were there?
Dañu mën a wax kan nga fàttaliku ñan ñoo fa nekkoon.
Alaji
Mor, do you know his full name or last name?
Alaji Mor xam nga santam.
Job. Do you know his full name?
Xam nga turam dëgg turam yëpp ak santam.
Alaji Mor Job.
I think it's Alaji Mor Job. Proceed, please.
Eggali.
Alaji Mor ñëw na ma xanaa yow du dara.
Before we get to that, let's try to establish the composition of the panel, those who you can recall, those whose names you can remember. You've told us Alaji Mor Job was there. You were escorted by Musa Kinte and Lamin Dabo. A third person you don't know. Tell us who else was at the panel.
On this panel the police and other NIA officers. How many?
The panel was comprised of police officers and NIA officers, and I did not know them.
Military officer panel.
There was no military officer in that panel. Okay, proceed, please.
So,
how many of them were there? How many?
Panel begin roughly 18 or almost 20.
It will be about 18 or almost 20 individuals.
Proceed.
Alaji Moore Mahana Tinu Dara, Bubaji.
Alaji Moore said to me, hasn't Bubaji told you anything?
Manako no.
I said to him, no.
Munama, Bo sacrifice you.
He said to me, Bo has sacrificed you.
Munama, you must sign a statement.
He said to me, you must sign a statement.
Manako, don't put any statement I sign.
I asked him, what kind of statement will I sign?
Munama, how to call it, Bubaji.
He said, well, since Bubaji has not told you anything, we have nothing to tell you here. You have to sign these documents, and then you find your way.
At this stage, did you see any documents you were to sign?
No,
I was not shown any document.
At this stage, have you been interviewed?
Did it? No.
At this stage, have you been told why you were taken to the NIA?
Did it? No.
Have you been told that you had the right to access a lawyer?
Did it? No.
So here they were, they told you you had to sign a statement. Did you in fact know what that statement was to be about? You were told
that you had to sign a document. Did you know what was contained in that document?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Then what happened after that?
And then after
After I stood and Job asked me to undress.
Which Job?
Alaji Moore.
Uniform.
At the time I was dressed in my military uniforms. I said to him, Alaji Moore, that cannot be possible.
How do you know he was Alaji Moore?
Spend that time for 2 weeks
I spent some time with him, about 2 weeks inside the NIA. But it was after that I knew that he was Alaji Moore.
And how about Musa Kinte and Lamin Dabo? How did you know who they were?
Musa Kinte and Lamin Dabo,
the same time we must spend in Fufula.
It's the same time that I spent with them there.
Proceed, please.
Alaji Moore
and Lamin Dabo, they were trying to pick my legs off the ground. But I stood firm. But what I don't remember, someone called me from behind, and I was trying to look behind. Something hit me. And that gave me some dizziness. That was when I collapsed.
Where were you hit?
They hit me just above my eye.
Could you lift your beret so we can see if there is a scar? Could you indicate the spot? Do you know what you were hit with?
I don't know what it was, but I know that it was painful.
So you collapsed, you fainted?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am going to give you a photograph of yours. So could you just circle the spot where the injury occurred, and then you sign the document?
amna nataal boo xam ne yow yaa ci nekk ndax dañu mun a feeñalal béréb bi nga xam ne fa la liggéey bi nekk boo ko wëralee ba pare na nga dal di ko sign.
Could you sign the document? Put your name and signature and date.
Binda fa sa tur nga sign ko ba pare wax bés bi tamit.
So as a result of this blow, you fainted. So kindly tell us what happened when you came to, when you regained consciousness. After that,
this guy handcuff
the handcuff which was in front of me, now my hands were cuffed behind my back. And also my uniforms were torn.
And naked totally.
And I was totally naked. You mean completely naked? No briefs, no underwear, nothing?
Completely. Completely.
And you were before this panel of 20 men.
Yeah.
At this stage, how did you react?
So
I couldn't react because I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything, so I just lay there. My head was bleeding at the time.
What I realized,
they were beating me very well at the time. What were they using to beat you?
I
think it could have been iron rods because the beatings, each time they hit me, I used to bleed. I was beaten until my entire body was all with blood.
So falling material,
and that was where I was made to lie down. And there was a tussle amongst the panel members. What do you mean by that? Can you explain this? What this tussle? What was it about?
Whether
this was worth it or not. I heard that being said. But at the time, I was unable to do anything for myself. I was lying there on the floor.
After 30 minutes,
Bobaji came. When he came and saw my condition, what I realized from him, it was not pleasing to him. But he was speaking to me, but I could not respond to him because I was bleeding. That was when I saw him leave, and went together with Alaji Moore, and they went away. Did you hear any conversation between the two of them?
No, guy didn't buy his panel.
No, they left me at the panel, which was upstairs, where I was lying on the floor, and they came downstairs. But as they were going out, did you hear them say anything?
They
were speaking, but I could not capture exactly what they were saying. In your statement, you indicated that, and I quote, well, no, let me take it a step backwards. Say, after a while, one of the panelists asked them to stop, or else they will kill me. And they stopped, and then Bobaji arrived. I had him pushing and pulling with Alaji Moore.
This was not the agreement.
This was not the agreement. Who said that?
Bobaji.
Who did he say it to? Alaji Moore. What was he referring to, as far as you understand?
Lumba Japare, Monica, the first day Lumagayane, then the set up. So, Boo, the first set up.
My observation, according to the way I see things, is what they told me from the first day that Bo set me up.
But what did you understand Bo to mean when he said that this was not the agreement?
Yo, bi nga déggé bo wax né li day do won liñ nanguto yow ci sa bopam lolu lo fokk né mom la tekki kaddom bobu lu tekki. And
according to your statement, you said, and he angrily left the room and Alaji Moore went after him.
Comme ci niñ ko bindé fi da nga wax né bo ba mo génn ci salle bobu daf ko génn ak mer Alaji Moore top ci gannaawam.
Bo at the initial time depuis bu maga waxé né bo daf la set up.
From the initial stage, when I was told that I was set up by Bo, and Bo came and found me in that condition,
at the same time,
and at the same time, he left me in that condition,
then
I know that whatever agreement it was they had with Alaji Moore,
part of setup,
all of it was part of the setup.
Do you believe that Bo agreed to what happened to you?
Ndax gëm nga né bo nangu na ci li nga xamné mo la dal and na ci
bo dafa pretend happy ci sama situation ni ma gisé
Bo pretended not to be happy with my situation,
waaye gis na itam lu ko neex la,
but also I realized this was something that pleased him.
Wo bayna mama ci condition bobu nek ci condition bobu for 3 days,
because he left me in that naked condition for 3 days.
Gisatuma bo,
I never saw him again.
Until
Bo went to mile 2, that was when I saw him. Until when I went to mile 2, that was when I saw him.
If he was happy with your situation, why would he leave there angrily?
Bu fekkone ne mom kontaan na ci lolu nga xamne mo la da ba lan tax mu génné fa ak mer.
Waaw gis na ni hijna bugu tor hijna dor li ma dor hijna mu ma wona ma bugu ko.
I realized that perhaps he was not pleased with the beatings that were meted on me.
Wa munuma won tam dara li nga xamne tumal lay mako te perna ma sey génné o man perna ma wax luma def.
But also I realized that he could not tell me anything that I was accused of or even prepared to get me out of the situation that I was in.
Even the first day,
even when he left the first day,
NIA officers,
the NIA officers, what they usually tell me
the army sacrifice you,
is that I am sacrificed by the army.
Did they tell you how?
No, because of money.
They could not tell me how.
Okay, on this particular occasion, you were stripped naked, handcuffed behind your back, beaten thoroughly, you were bleeding all over. Bo came and left angrily. Alaji Moore followed. What happened after that?
Léegi nag fi mu nekk nii jël nañ sa loxo yi ceene ko ci sa gannaaw dóor la dóor yu métti ba yaa ngi doon nàcca boo ñëw Alaaji Moor ànd ak moom génn dem lan moo xew gannaaw loolu.
After dañ ma drag foofu upstairs,
I was dragged from there to the upstairs and I was returned to the Bambadinka.
Who made that order?
Kan moo joxe ndigal boobu?
Alaaji Moor.
Alaaji Moor.
And how were you taken to Bambadinka?
Naka lañ la yóbboo Bambadinka?
Dañ ma carré.
They carried me.
And where were your clothes?
Ana sa yére yi booba?
Ma ko bàyyi woon ci hall bi.
I left them in the hall.
Did you go to Bambadinka with your clothes or without your clothes?
Da nga dem Bambadinka yaa ngi yóbbuwaale sa yére yi wala yóbbu soluloo yére?
No, suma ina sat bi nesul ma solo nesul weex bi.
I had my t-shirt, my white t-shirt.
Boobu lañ ma joxoon.
That was the one they gave me.
How about your underwear?
So
you were naked from waist down?
Yes, for 3 days.
Yes, for 3 days.
So they took you to Bambadinka? Were you alone there?
Yes, sir, for the first day I was there alone.
Yes, sir. For the first day I was there alone.
But you were left naked for 3 days?
Yes, sir.
What happened the second day when others came to the cell?
Well, second day, sir.
In fact, the second day
was first day.
Was even worse than the first day.
Because already suma gani heal.
Because at that time my wounds were healing, have started to heal. Proceed.
So
when you are beaten on the same spot, it used to pain a lot. So tell us about that second day. What happened? Mr. Witness, are you able to proceed or you need more time?
Thank
you very much. We know it is very difficult relieving all these things. We just crave your indulgence. It is important that we hear what you went through.
Dëggal nag xam nañ ne pour nettali métit bu tollu noonu nga xam ne daloon na la dina jafe trop pour yow waaye ñuy sàkku ci yow rek pour nga xamal ñu li nga xam ne mooy jaar-jaar yi nga xam ne foofa nga jaar.
Thank you very much for your willingness to proceed.
Jërëjëf li nga nangu pour eggali.
So tell us what happened the second day.
Léegi wax ñu lan moo xew ci ñaareelu bés bi.
Second day moo gën a worse first day bi.
The second day was worse than the first day. Tell us what happened while you were in the cell.
Wax ñu lan moo la dal jamono nga nekkee ci cell bi foofu.
Lamin Dabo dafa ñu génne ma ci cell bi.
Lamin Dabo came and took me out of the cell.
Waaye boobu daf ma solal nylon bag.
But he put a plastic bag over my head. In your statement, you said the next day at night again, Musa Kinte came. Musa Kinte ñëw. Was it Lamin Dabo or was it Musa Kinte?
Lamin Dabo la wala Musa Kinte?
They came together, but then I'm very used to Lamin Dabo, but it's Musa Kinte.
No, Lamin Dabo min na ko waaye nag Musa Kinte la.
Okay. So it was. So when you said it was Lamin Dabo, that was a slip of the tongue. But you can confirm it was Musa Kinte.
Yes, sir.
So proceed and tell us what happened when Musa Kinte came. When he came, he took me out of the cell. But as soon as I came out of the cell, a plastic bag was put over my head. Just as I told you earlier, that was more painful than the first day. Because the people who were doing the beating were many. Okay, so let's take it step by step. And you were taken out of the cell, and the plastic bag was put over your head. How about your hands? Was anything put in your hands?
Yes,
they were cuffed. And then what happened?
You must go to story building before you go.
You took me behind the story building. And then what happened? That place was very difficult. Tell us what happened. I was tortured seriously. This time around, as you went there, did you wear any pants, any underwear, apart from your singlet?
jamono jooju la yóbbu nii nag ndax soloon nga benn tubéy wala benn jiital lu uute na ak genso bi nga sol rek.
mais genso bi nga sol ma ko dañ ma ko joxoon rek pour mun a fompas dara bi nekk sama yaram rek.
In fact, the T-shirt I did not put on it. They only gave it to me so that I can use it to wipe out the blood on my body.
Well, I
was in Bambadika completely naked throughout the entire period.
So when they take you at the back of the main building, you are still naked?
No.
Plastic bag over your head? You were handcuffed? In front of you or at your back?
Behind me.
And you were led to the back of the building, of the main building. What happened there when you arrived there?
I cannot even be in charge of myself.
What did they do to you, if anything?
They gave me a worse beating than the one they gave me while I was on the panel upstairs.
As you were being beaten, did they ask you any questions?
I believe it was either Musa Kinte or Lamin Dabo who were telling me, "Sir, just try and sign this document."
At this stage, did you know what document you were being asked to sign?
They did not show me any document.
Were you told the contents of the document you were expected to sign?
What they told me was a witness statement.
Did they say a witness to what?
No, they didn't tell me anything else.
So in a sense, you're telling this commission that you were in the dark as to the nature and contents of the document you were required to sign.
Wonderful commission dal ci lëndëm nga nekkon rek xamuloo won dara ci mbiri kayit bobu la wax ne dang ko wara sign lan mo ci nekk.
I know nothing about it.
On this second day, did you agree to sign anything?
Légui nak ci ñaarelu bés bi ndax nangu nga pour sign dara?
I didn't sign anything.
In your statement,
ci sa kàddu yi nga xam ne moom lañ bind nii.
You indicated
that
it was only Musa Kinte and Lamin Davo's voice I recognized among the torturers.
Ne baati Musa Kinte ak Lamin Davo ñoom ñaar ñooñu rek nga xàmmee seen baat ci ñépp ñi nga xam ne ñoo la doon metital.
That is what happened. That's your testimony.
Loolu nga wax.
You heard Musa Kinte.
Dégg nga Musa Kinte.
You heard Lamin Davo.
Dégg nga Lamin Davo.
It's your evidence that both of them participated in your actual torture.
Loolu mooy sa seede gu wér ne ñoom ñaar bokk nañ ci metital bi ñu la doon def.
Could you indicate your answer by saying something and not just nodding your head?
Mun nga bañ a yëngal sa bopp rek wax waaw wala déet.
ñoom ñaar bokk nañ ci xamee naa seen baat.
The two of them were a part of it. I spent some time with them, and I also recognized their voices.
After the beating, what happened?
I was taken back to Bambadika.
On the third day, tell us what happened. I know that there is an aspect of what happened that we have written on this paper.
We are not
going to discuss that here. But we would put this document in the evidence. Apart from this particular issue, tell us everything that has happened. Okay. You confirm that that is a document that you have signed, correct?
Yes.
And you agreed that this should form part of your testimony.
Yes.
And that it should be treated confidentially.
That's true.
Could you send it back to me? Can you now tell us what happened there the third night?
That was the most serious night. Because at the time I was having injuries all over my body. All of them were beginning to heal. When they started to beat, I did not allow them to continue. Kinte told me, Sarge, sign this. I signed it quickly. It was very painful. Because it was very painful.
Before this time, had you ever been interviewed to give a statement?
No.
Did you see that document before?
No.
Did you know the contents before you signed?
No.
So you did not know what you were signing?
No, Counsel.
How did you know which part of the paper to sign?
They pointed to me where I was to sign. They told me to sign there. There were two empty sheets of paper. One of them was written on, but I don't know what was written on it. Because my eye was not seen properly, it was swollen. And secondly, they did not even give me enough time.
At this time, as you were doing this, where were the beaters, the torturers?
They were standing.
Where were the tools, the instruments they were using to beat you?
They had them with them.
Did you feel obliged to sign that document?
Was not.
Why did you sign it?
It Counsel, it was painful.
Tell us exactly the reasons why you signed it. We know the beatings were serious, but tell us exactly why you signed it.
The beatings.
Do you think that you would have survived if you had continued to resist signing that document?
ndax fogon nga ne nak su fekkone continuer nga di bañ pour sign kayit bobu ndax di nga mëna mucca
ñun sax bu ma wax ñu na ma sam so sign kayit likely bi do ko survive.
That was what they even told me themselves. They told me, Sam, if you do not sign this document, it's likely that you will not survive this.
Because
at that time, they saw the state of my body. There are some spots when I am beaten on those spots. It's likely that I would not have survived.
And as a result of that, you signed.
Well, yes.
So what happened after you signed?
After I signed, I was returned to the Bombardinka. The following day, they took me to the military hospital for them to stitch my injury. After they stitched it, I came back to Bombardinka
for 3 weeks.
And that was where I stayed for 3 weeks.
At this time, were you kept naked or you were given your clothes back?
I was returned my clothes, but they were torn.
And you remained like that in Bambadinka for 2 weeks.
While
you were at Bambadinka, did others join you there?
After I went to mile 2, that was when I got the information that others were brought there. But we did not see each other.
While you were at the cell at Bambadinka, was anybody brought in that cell?
Jamono ji nga xamne ñu la denc ci sel bobu nek Bambadinka ndax indi nañ keneen wala ñeneen ñoo xamne fekkasi nañ la fa.
Waaw isu nañ ben rastaman.
Yes, they brought one rastaman.
Ñu ko Kemo Conte fataw na turam sa.
They call him Kemo Conte. I had forgotten his name.
Waaw mu ne big bala am xaw ma Senegambia.
He said he had a beach bar, I think in Senegambia.
Waaw isu nañ ko fofu.
Did anything happen to him?
Mom amna dara lu ko fa dal.
Ko tam dur nañ ko trop.
He was also beaten well.
Dur nañ ko bu bassa.
Beaten very well.
Do you know by who?
Xam nga kan ñoko doon door.
The same people you know ñoko door.
The same people that beat me were the ones that beat him.
You mentioned 3 names.
Ñetti tur nga ñu fi jox.
Alhaji Mor, Musa Kinte, and Lamin Dabo. So your suggestion is that these 3 people also participated in the torture of Kemo Conte. Who else?
Akan.
I was there in that cell with Kemo. It was when I went to mile 2 that I discovered that there were others there.
Do you know, while at Bambadinka, how were you surviving in terms of food and water?
Jamono ji la denc fofu sa sel ba Bambadinka naka nga doon defé nak wali lekk ak wali naan.
First 3 days, the first 3 days, I did not eat anything.
I'm not being a boy, security officer.
There's one particular security officer there. He smuggled the water and gave it to us there to drink.
Keeps my life for that 3 nights.
And that kept my life for the 3 nights.
You were not given any food?
No,
were you given money to buy food? Within the 3 days, did you see or talk to a lawyer?
Did it? No.
How about your family?
No.
What happened after the 3rd day? Sorry, after the 2 weeks that you were to remain in Bambadinka?
Gannaaw ñaari besi ay yi nga xamne def nga ko fofu ci Bambadinka gannaaw loolu lan mo xew.
Wa benn bis la gis gaay jóg.
One day they came.
Gaay isi moto fofu ci sama bodo cell bi.
They brought a vehicle close to my cell.
Gaay génné ma.
They took me out.
You génné boy bobu Kemo
and took that other boy Kemo.
Gis wadi beneen moto.
And they brought another vehicle.
Ñu génné beneen man ci beneen cell ku ñu wax Keba Seka.
They brought one man from one other cell. They call him Keba Seka.
Ak Mumin Ba.
And Mumin Ba.
Do you know whether anything has happened to these people?
Xam nga ndax ñooñu nga wax ni am na dara lu leen fa jot.
Waaw ñu tam seen body language dafa poor trop duru ni ngay trop.
Those two, their body language was poor. They were badly beaten.
So as far as you were concerned, all the detainees you encountered at mile 2 during this period were tortured?
Yeah, tortured very seriously.
Were tortured very seriously.
All of them, without exception.
Very well.
What happened when you were removed from your cell and put inside that vehicle?
We were handcuffed. And they took us out of the NIA. In fact, that day I thought that was the day we were going to die. The vehicle went up to mile 2. And then it turned towards mile 2. That was where we were admitted.
Like detainees.
As detainees.
Were you told the reasons why you were taken to mile 2?
Did it? No.
Did they tell you whether you are charged of a criminal offense?
ndax waxoon nañ la ndax dafa am benn tuuma boo xam ne tuumaal nañ la kon da nga yaxal luwa.
No. Were you given the opportunity to speak to a lawyer?
joxoon nañ la yoon tamit pour nga mun a wax a lawyer.
No. Were you given an opportunity to speak to your family members?
joxoon nañ la yoon tam pour nga wax a sa mbokk yi.
No. Were you taken before a magistrate or a judge?
yóbbu woon nañ la ci kanami àttekat ci court bi.
No. Was there any paper written by any authority, as far as you know, authorizing your detention at Mile 2 prison?
amoon na kayit boo xam ne am na kilifa boo xam ne moo ko binda joxe ndigal ne dañ la war a yóbbu Mile 2 prison.
No. And when was the first time you received any paper indicating why you were detained at Mile 2 prisons?
ci ban jamono nga njëkkaa jot kayit boo xam ne wane na ne dañ la war a teg foofu Mile 2 prison?
I never got that document.
Ultimately, you were charged with a crime, correct?
waaye gannaaw bi nag tuumaal nañ la dara loo xam ne moom nga def.
Well, yes.
When was that? After how long in Mile 2 did you receive such a document?
kañ la woon loolu ak ci yan jamono gannaaw bu la yóbboo Mile 2 ci nga jot kayit boobu.
After 2 years. After 2 years.
Do you know what you were charged with after 2 years?
gannaaw ñaari at yooyu xam nga nag lan lañ la tuumaal ne loolu nga def.
No, sir. No, sir.
But you were taken before a court.
waaye yóbbu woon nañ la court ci attekaay bi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you were tried.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you know exactly why you were tried?
xam nga li taxoon ñu yóbbu la foofu pour atte la.
I don't know it. I was just accused.
What were you accused of?
lan lañ la tuumaal ne moom nga def.
Munu mona fate busa tumal bisa moda mo demé hay ko munu mona am lifin pour document bisa. I cannot recall ma xam duma tumal yi ma rek ma appia ko taj ma xam 6 counts of terrorism. For terrorism, 6 counts of terrorism. I think I was charged on 6 counts of terrorism.
All right. And that document you signed, was it used in the trial?
kayit boobu nga xam ne moom lañ la sign loo woon ndax jëfoo nañ ko ci jamono ji la yóbbu ci court bi.
Yes, they brought it along.
And were you asked about it?
laajoon nañ la mbiri kayit boobu.
Well, yes.
Who asked you?
ku la ko laaj.
The judge.
And what did he say? And how did you respond?
lan la la wax ak yow loo ko tontu.
Mu ne man ndax kayit bi sa kayit la ma ne ko bii di suma kayit. He asked me if this was my document, and I told him it was not my document. He asked me if I wrote any statement when I was arrested. I said to him no. And he asked me then what warranted your signature on this document. At the time, my T-shirt that they had given me, the one that I used to wipe off the blood from my body, when I came with it to Mile 2, until I got into confinement, they told me to keep that T-shirt safely.
Who told you to do so?
Wasakamara. As evidence. It said to me, you can use this as evidence.
Of what?
Torture. Of torture. That was the T-shirt that I used. And body language and my body language. We want judge to show to the judge that was the reason why I signed.
In a sense, you showed the judge the blood-stained undergarment, underwear, and marks on your body to show that you signed that document because you were tortured. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that is it.
Do you still have those scars in your body?
Up till now.
I am giving you a photograph. Could you confirm that this is your photograph showing the masks in your body?
Yes, that is it.
Mr. Chair, I'll circulate it to the Commission. This is black and white. We are trying to arrange a colored copy the colored version would be put in evidence.
li nataal la boo xam ne dañ ko def black and white waaye nag ñu ngi jéem a ut boo xam ne bu kola la ñu mën koo dugal ci kayiti seede yi.
As far as you know, did the judge accept your story?
ci yow ci sa wàlli xam-xam ndax àttekat boobu nag nangu na woon bi nga xamee ne wax nga ko xibaar gi ni mu doxee na ànd na ci.
nangu na ko mu bind ko as evidence against me.
Yes, he accepted and put that in evidence.
Evidence for you, not against you. In the end, how was your court case disposed of? What was the verdict?
gannaaw bi nag naka lañ la àttee la na mooy ndogal bi.
He acquitted and discharged me.
Do you have any document to show the acquittal, the ruling?
am nga benn kayit bu wone ndogal boobu nga xam ne moom la àttekat bi jëloon pour wone ne bàyyi nañ la.
In fact, tell me if I am right, you were charged together with members of the MFDC of Casamance.
léegi ñu mel ni dañ la tuumalandoor yaa ñi nga xam ne ñoo bokk MFDC bu Casamance.
You were charged together with some members of the Casamance rebel movement called MFDC. Is that correct?
yow dañ la boole woon tuumalandoor la yow yaa rebel ya nga xam ne ñoo nekk Casamance ñu di leen wax MFDC.
That is true.
Have you ever met those people before?
musoon nga daje ak ñoom balaa loolu.
No, sir.
You were also charged with someone from the NIA.
am na keneen koo xam ne tuumalandoor nañ la ak moom ku bàyyee ko NIA.
That is true.
Do you recall his name?
fàttali ko nga turam.
Eba Seka.
Have you met him before?
daje woon nga moom balaa loolu.
waaw Keba buñ dajee mile 2 laa ko gis musuma gis.
Keba, it was when we got to mile 2 that I saw him. I never saw him before.
Do you in fact know what acts of terrorism you were charged for?
ndax xamoon nga ban façon yi ñoo wax terrorisme boo xam ne moom lañ la tuumaaloon.
waaw particulier bi mu ko understand ne woon moo nekk daf ma wax ne man ñu ma arrêté Brikama with this group of people.
Well, from what I understood from what the prosecution was saying is that I was arrested with this group of individuals in Brikama.
That
was why our court case was referred to Brikama. But when we started to explain, and it was realized that each one of us came from different areas, different places, that was when he referred the case to the High Court.
And then in the end, what happened? You said you were acquitted and discharged.
waa léegi lu xew nag ca mujjanteel ba nga ne ci lañ la dal di bàyyi nag lu mel ni yoon daal jégal na bàyyi na la.
waaw bu ma bàyyee wax baa ngi bëri woon.
Yes, when I was acquitted and discharged, there was a lot of talk.
So
may I consult with the chairman? Just a minute.
giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Do you recall with whom you were charged? Is the Kebaseka that I told you about? Muminba,
Imo Conte,
these are the ones that I can remember. The others were foreigners. In fact, those ones, we found them in Mile 2. They were what? Foreigners. Okay. All right. So, according to the document you provided, that is the ruling on this case from the High Court. Kemo Conte was accused number 16. And Keba Seka was accused 14. And what were you? You were accused number what?
High Court, it's almost 7-6. I can remember.
706.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can check with the High Court, but that's 706. All right. Just a moment. So all of you were acquitted except for a few accused persons, right?
Well,
yes. 4 people, that is 8, 9, 10, and 11. And that they were Maulud Baji, Lansana Prosper Sambu, Dauda Jata, and Pap Usman Baji. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Everybody else was acquitted. In fact, in the judgment, in the ruling, as it is called, Judge J.E. Ikpala said, I find no prima facie case against the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th accused to warrant calling them to enter their defense. Accordingly, they are acquitted and discharged. And you were released accordingly. That's true, yes. And what happened when you were released? Let's do that quickly. When I was released, a sort of talk. I had a friend of mine who advised me. He told me to stay in one place and not to talk to anybody. He said, this is a government affair. You have a problem with the government, and for the government to take you to court, and for you to win the case, there is something that you may say, and you can put yourself into trouble. And you know what you have experienced. I said to him, in fact, I am not well right now. My body is paining me. He was amongst the people who assisted me with fear until I went over to Senegal. But in the meantime, while you were in detention in Mile 2, what happened to your career in the army? Well,
one year, almost 2 months.
I was there 1 year, 2 months detention. And Bo Baji came there. A staff sergeant. And also your wife used to come here at headquarters
She used to disturb us a lot.
About hale gisula.
About the kids not seeing you.
So mune legi ma bina fu authority.
And then he said that I should write an authority so that he can be receiving my salary and be able to assist the children.
For who to be receiving your salary?
My
wife.
You signed the document?
Yes, I signed it.
Was your wife receiving your salary?
After 2 years.
Yes, after I was charged, after the 2 years,
remand prisoner I
was a remand prisoner. At that time, she had the access to come and pay visits to me. And she told me, yes, now I am collecting your salary. And she said to me, in fact, it has been increased. And I told her that, in fact, Bo told me that I was promoted to the rank of a staff sergeant.
Did you find it normal or regular that a person detained in prison on the accusation of terrorism would still be promoted in the service?
ndax yow ci sa gisee nga ko mbir moo xam ne lu jaadu la pour nit koo xam ne ñu ngi la téye teg la benn place tuumaal la ne danga doon def mbiri terrorisme ba pare ci biir diir boobu tam ñu ñëw yokka ci sa maxaama ndax loolu lu jaadu la.
lu jaaduwut. That was not normal.
Okay. So after your acquittal and discharge, now you felt that you needed to go away to seek medical treatment and be away from everybody, not to say anything. You went to Senegal. How long did you remain in Senegal?
Léegi gannaaw buñ la bàyyee ne nag yoon amatul ci yow benn yoon nga dal di gis ne nag da nga war a génn réew mi pour dem faju ji ci nga dem Sénégal Sénégal nag moom ban biir nga fa nekk.
am naa fa ñeenti weer.
I was there for 4 months.
And then what happened after that?
Lu xew gannaaw loolu.
After that, my jabar called.
But after that, my wife called and said that the soldiers were disturbing her, that they have not seen Sam, and that they wanted to see me. I said to her, well, if that is the only thing, then I'm coming. But my relatives who were there, they did not have any trust in my coming back.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because of system.
Because of the system that existed here. Then.
What was the system?
If you don't help.
Yaya Jammeh's government, when they accuse you or levy certain accusations against you, if you are lucky with your life, then you praise God.
What do you mean by that?
Like,
for him, his position, if you are accused of threatening his position, if you are not dead, then he will no longer look like a proper human being. That was why those relatives did not want me to return back. But I also thought that, well, I have someone else's daughter here in the country. And these people, when they cannot reach you, they can reach your wife.
Are you telling us also that that was the system? That if they don't get you, they would go after your relative or your wife?
Well, for me, example, I'm not visiting TRC.
I think all of those examples were manifest here at the TRC.
I'm just asking about your knowledge of the system.
Well, yes, it's true.
So you saying that these things used to happen?
Yes,
as a result of that, you decided to come back.
Well, yes.
Tell us what happened when you came back.
When I came up to Alhamdulillah, I declared myself. I told them that I am Sam Kambai.
Army intelligence.
They said to me, the army intelligence,
they were looking for you.
They were looking for you.
Man, I'm around.
I told them I am around.
My escort.
They said they were going to escort me. I told them nobody escorted me from Senegal all the way to here.
From here, I'm going to report direct to headquarters.
And from here, I am reporting directly to the headquarters. Before my wife or any member of my family would see me,
I report headquarters.
I will report first to the headquarters.
We have food.
Whatever is to happen, so be it.
We report to headquarters.
And that was how I reported myself to the headquarters.
Were you charged for desertion?
am na benn tuuma boo xam ne teg nañ la ko.
No. Should you have been charged for desertion?
am na tuuma bu la tuuma ne da nga daw bàyyi liggéey bi.
ndax waroon nañ la charge?
So you have been charged for desertion?
Well, see on Sudan account properly.
Yes, if that was done in a proper way, if I was properly accounted for.
Why take account to me?
But nobody accounted for me.
Go case women heavy case like that.
But because such a heavy case as this one, and all the hardships that I went through, there was nobody at the headquarters who could address this issue when I was acquitted. What they will tell me is, Sam, how are you? Just bear.
It's not a good result.
And I knew that was not a good result. And also what they told me was not something that I could accept in my head. That is to say that I should just hang on for a while and that when they were ready, they will recall me. In fact, that was the main reason why I had to leave this country and run away. I did not run away so that when I was recalled, I'll fail to come back.
A peaceful mind.
But I just ran away so that I could get to a place where I could have a peaceful mind and also where I could have a treatment and be able to recover.
And when you came back, what did they do with you?
Intelligence office headquarters. I was marched to the intelligence office at Banjul headquarters.
An apology letter to the president, commander-in-chief.
They said I should write an apology letter to the president, who was the commander-in-chief.
Did you do anything to him?
I did nothing to him.
Why did you have to apologize?
That was what I said to them. But what they said to me also,
commander-in-chief.
They said he was the commander-in-chief. You have to let him know of your problem. And also you make him look very sympathetic.
And plead for his mercy.
And plead for his mercy.
And was that also the system?
Well, it happened to me. And if it happens to me, it possibly happened to my colleagues as well.
So in the end, did you write that letter?
Wow, intelligent officer.
Yes, the intelligent officer. I told him I don't have any other job. This is the only job that I pin my hopes on.
Up and down.
And also my family is going up and down.
If they
are rent here today, tomorrow they are renting somewhere else.
So I
said to him, well then, go ahead and write it.
Why an apology letter?
But let it not be an apology letter. Let it be like
the said soldier.
The said soldier.
Particular case.
The said soldier concerned in this particular case.
Acquitted and discharged.
The court has acquitted and discharged him. And secondly, this is the only job that he has engaged in since he was a young man up to that date.
So if
he could assist me so that I could return back to my work,
so I keep my family alive,
so that I can keep my family alive. They wrote that letter and I signed it.
Was there a response?
Yes, there was a response.
And what was the response?
After 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks,
they called
me into Colonel Hinasambu's office. But Hina did not give me the letter. He was reading it. And what I could deduce from the reading,
the president, the commander-in-chief, don't apologize for that soldier concerned.
He was apologizing to the soldier concerned.
Why Hina read?
But what Hina read,
this said soldier
was this said soldier
has to be reinstated.
Has to be reinstated. And also pay him all his benefits. But what Hina told me,
director of finance
at that time, our director of finance, Emeba, was there.
How to call it benefit for Wusiman.
They said they had no benefits for me there.
Because of smart salary flow.
Because my salary was flowing.
So, then in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks,
he said to me, in the next 2 or 3 weeks,
you
will come back here. And we will take care of all the issues on this letter. And then we will check where to deploy you to. So when I came back again, what Hina told me, and the chief clerk, was that letter was lost.
So I
had no godfather there. Did you need one?
Yes,
I needed one to access my letters because that was going to be part of my evidence. But I was not able to have access to that letter.
But were you reinstated in the end?
They never dismissed me from work.
Well, the president said you should be reinstated.
Well,
President, yes,
that was what was in the letter.
Did you go back to work?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's few minutes to 2. I want to end it there with the witness. And Mr. Chair, you can decide whether you would ask your questions before the lunch break or after the lunch break. I leave that to you. But I have 4 exhibits I want to put in. If you permit me, I will do that. The first is the picture of the witness showing the scar on his forehead. That should be exhibit 177. And the protected information sheet should be exhibit 178. And the picture showing the lacerations on the back of the witness should be, excuse me, 177 and then 177A. So there'll be one number for the witness. And then exhibit 177B. 177A is the protected information sheet. 177B is the picture with the lacerations. And the ruling should be 177C. We would endeavor to obtain the full judgment, which would have all the names of the accused persons who were tried in this matter. Mr. Chair, that is something you would do. In the meantime, we crave your indulgence to accept the documents as they are presented.
Council, your request is granted. With respect to 177C,
yes,
the judgment of the court, the ruling, I think since he is not mentioned in that piece of paper, you may want to note in the margin that witness testified in the commission here that he was, I think, prisoner number 7 or number 6.
607, yes.
607, he said, and that would be part of the record. That would be correct. Because since he's not mentioned at all in that judgment, and let him sign that part, and then we can enter it. Otherwise, all requests are granted.
It is so annotated, and the witness would sign it.
Splendid.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I think we can take a few minutes to just finish up with him and get to the next witness after lunch, the lunch break. Fine. Thank you very much, witness, for coming to testify. Truly sorry that you endured so much suffering in the hands of NIA agents.
gannaaw bu ñu dugalee kayit yooyu yëpp ci biir kayiti seede yi nag léegi nag chairman mu ne mu ngi gërëm bu baax seede bi lim nangu pour ñëw fii joxe fi seedeem.
And commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. Deputy, you have the floor, followed by Imam Jalal. and Commissioner Carr. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, witness. My question is a very small one. It's a clarification. Were you at the NIA for 3 weeks or for 2 weeks? Because you keep on saying 3 weeks and the interpretation says 2 weeks.
Deputy Chair bi mu ne moom leeral la bugga rek jamono ji nga nekk NIA ndax ñaari bés yu ay la wala ñetti bés yu ay ndaxte léeg-léeg yow nga wax ñetti bés yu ay la patookat bi wax ñaari bés yu ay ban la ci.
waaw mun naa ko jëli ñaari week waaye ñaari week ak lu topp la. I can
take it from 2 weeks, but it's been 2 weeks and more. But if we take 2 weeks, then it's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Imam Jallo, you have the floor, please.
Witness, I have a few questions to ask you, short ones.
The
first question is, while you, Sadauda, was having a chat with the soldiers, American soldiers, did you hear what the soldiers were saying to him?
Did it? No.
Secondly, you said one of the soldiers held Sadauda's hand, turned him round and put him inside the car. I want a very honest answer on this. Do you think Sadauda was coerced in getting into the car? Or was he actually forced to get into the car? Under that circumstances, was he really voluntarily moved into the car? Would you clarify, please?
American vehicles,
I said when the American vehicles came,
on the ground.
At the time, those of us who were presidential guards, we were on the ground.
By force, arms.
And nobody could have gotten inside there and get the president while we were there with our arms. Where the negotiations came from, I do not know. But when they came, they were not stopped at the gate.
Clearance.
They gave the old man clearance, that is the plainclothes officers. But what I heard him say to those plainclothes officers is that these are members of the Gambian National Army.
We'll tackle the issue.
And when they come, we will tackle the issue. And then he said, allow them to come. That was when they opened the gate and they allowed them to come in. What they were conversing with the president, I did not hear that. He greeted the president, he pulled him a little bit and got into the vehicle with him.
And the whole security force was
was there.
And the officers, senior officers,
and the senior officers as well.
They bought vehicle.
They boarded their vehicles
and they go with the convoy.
And they went with the convoy.
The last question is, if Sadauda did not get out of the State House, you think this coup would have succeeded?
It was going to be very ugly. Because if you heard, let me tell you that there were some soldiers who were whipping. Maybe if Jora was there up till that time, maybe even myself seated here talking to you, I wouldn't have been here today to speak to you.
They were there to protect him, not to sit and cry. Commissioner Carr, you have the floor, and then Commissioner Samba.
Thank you, Chairman.
jërëjëf Chairman Commissioner Kaw moo wax noonu.
And Mr. Sam, sorry for what happened to you.
Mr. Sam, maa ngi jégalu bu baax ci li nga xam ne moo la dal maa ngi ko mititlu.
I have some questions I want to ask you.
Dafa am ay laajte yu ma la bëgg a laaj.
The first one is, I wasn't clear about when Alhaji Mor told you that Bo Baji sacrificed you. Do you know what he meant by that?
Man leerut ma ci li nga xam ne Alhaji Mor wax na la ne Bo Baji moom daf la jébbale rek ndax xam nga lu mu tekki ci loolu.
Lu mu tekki moo nekk ci lu ma dugal rek. The meaning is what I got into. Dugal case bu amul boppa. To go into a case which does not have any heading. A case where I did not even know what I have done wrong. Real sacrifice. That is real sacrifice. Because Bo, when we had a problem after, until he visited me at mile 2, it was within that time that he was made the Director General of Prisons. Of NIA, so. Then I realized that truly he was working in expectation of something. When he met you at mile 2, did he apologize for what he did to you? Did he be concerned about your plight at that point?
Bam la fekke mile 2 ndax jébbalu won na ci yow ci li nga xamne mom la la def ndax xalaatoon na yow anam yi nga tollu won jamono bobu. Bu dié mile 2 dama ko laaj bo lu xew.
Yes, when he came to mile 2, I asked him, Bo, what happened? I want to know my fate. He said, well, this is entirely with the NIA. And the NIA said this was not part of the operation. They say it's Bo. That's why I put my faith on God. The other question is, week before last, or the last session before this one, the last session. Bo came here. And he said, he told the commission that he regretted what happened to you, and he made sure afterwards that what happened to you would not happen again.
Mom wax na fi ci commission bi ne mu ngi jégalu ci li nga xamne mo la dal te di fexé na gis na la dal dootu fa xewat.
But from what happened to you, do you believe that that was the case, that he wasn't happy with what happened and he took concrete steps to remedy that?
Ak yow li nga xamne mo la fa dal yépp ndax gom nga ne mom Bo Badji li la dal neexut ko te amna ay jéego yo xamne mu ko doon def pour safara lolu.
No, that never happened. Because if this thing actually was painful to Bo,
any crime I committed,
if there was any crime that I committed at all, I am a soldier.
There so many dump places for me.
There are different places where they could have dumped me. There are soldiers who can arrest a soldier who are the military police. And there are soldiers who are also given the task of investigating other soldiers. So, but for Bo to dump me there and go on his business, and then come back pretending that he was not pleased with that, if this was not pleasing to him, then he would have taken me out of that situation from the first day.
Why receive now more heart pain than the first pain?
But I got more pain from than the first I got. Then Bo is just speaking things that are not very serious. My question is, you are complaining, you are telling this commission that you are severely tortured.
And at
some point it affected your health. Because you had lacerations on your body. How is your health now? I just try to manage with it. Because the state has done nothing and the army too has done nothing.
Commissioner Samba, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. This son, Kambi,
My
apologies for the hardships that you have undergone.
I don't want to like parce que yaa ngi wax ne sa salary bi daf doon dem on ndax yoo xamoon nga ne sa salary bi daf doon dem on ndax biñ la bàyyee si nga soog a xam ne sa salary bi daf doon dem on.
I want to know because you said that while you were incarcerated, your salary was on. Were you aware of this situation while you were still incarcerated, or was it after you were released?
After 2 years, some months,
after 2 years and some months after I was charged,
I deserved to am a visitor.
I deserved to have visitor. That was when my wife began to come to Mile 2 to visit me. That was where she told me that she was receiving salary. And that was where she also told me that she has noticed an increment in the salary. And that was where also she revealed to me that that was where I told her that Bo has told me that I was promoted. The second question is, you said while you were in Mile 2, the 3 nights that you spent at the cell, you were completely naked. Did anyone amongst the panel object to you being put in that naked condition, or did all of them actually agree that you should be made naked? What I can discover from the panel, when I was being beaten until I was hit just above my head and above my eye, and I fainted until I came to, within themselves,
they want to stop kiss living so day.
I heard it been said, stop, if you continued, this guy will die. Maybe why the second day, the third day, I believe the panel was responsible for the beatings I got on the first day, but they were not responsible for the second and the third day.
And second after day,
and the second and third day were more painful. How many kids do you have?
6.
6.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Imam C. You have the floor.
Mr. Kambai,
thank you, Mr. Kambai. Thank you for the hardship. And we also sympathize with you. Where did you go to in Senegal?
Ndar.
Did you have treatment there? I could not have treatment because I was not having money. You did not have treatment there, and you do not have treatment here as well, did it? No. How many years were you in prison?
I'm now for 4 years, 8 months.
4 years, 8 months.
What
year did you return back?
Mile 2.
What year?
Senegal, 4 months.
I had only 4 months in Senegal and I returned home. Thank you.
Thank you. If you have any final remarks to make, please go ahead, witness, and make your final remarks. Thank you.
Sere bu fekkee ne am na ay kàddu yu mujj yoo xam ne bëgg nga ko fee gaaral mën nga koo def léegi.
Waaw kàddu yu moo nekk xëy na di gërëm TRC.
Is to thank the TRC
chairman ak teamam bi.
The chairman and his team.
Lead council ki nga xam ne mu ngi uddiga.
The lead council who is seeking to get May God assist you.
Why is big task la?
It's a big task.
For Gambia.
For Gambia. I would not say that those who don't speak the truth are there.
But if
they are there, they are not many. The reason why I did not come here earlier than now, because I lost faith in the Gambian. But I sat down for a long time and I was watching TRC proceedings, and I realized that these are people of truth.
Maybe they can solve my problem.
And I said, maybe they can solve my problem. But the way in which this country is moving, all of us are Gambians. Certain things should not be. We should not be doing those things to one another. There was one day I was in Carton. I had Chairman Sise,
lead council Fall,
the lead council Fall. They said that they were planning on a coup d'etat. There are so many of your colleagues. There are many Gambians. The accusations that they were levied against them. Today, many women have lost their husbands. Many men, if they were well, they are no more well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kambai. Sorry, will you?
Mr. Kambai, I'm sorry about this. If you want to take 5 more minutes and you come back and finish, we can give you that opportunity. Otherwise, we can end it here as you have suggested. But think about it and make a choice.
Mr. Kambai, la jox juróomi minute rek ba nga dal nga dellu si waat waaye ba tey tam nañ ko emale fii rek comme ni nga ko xalaatee léegi nag xalaatal ñaar yooyu ban nga ciy def.
I guess maybe perhaps the best thing would be to leave it at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Kambai.
Mr. Kambai.
Are you ready now? Shall I?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Kambai, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Mr. Kambai, Commission.
And again, we are truly sorry that we had to endure so much hands off from NIA agents. But you were very brave in refusing to sign false statements at the time that you refused.
Waaye nag doon nga ko xam ne am nga fit lool jàmbaar nga pour bañ a sign kayit yi nga xam ne lu dëggu nekku ci ñu sign loola ko.
I hope all goes well with you and your family.
Te man la ñaanal jàmm am di dal la yow yak say njaboot yépp.
Again, thank you so much for coming to the Commission.
Jërëjëf beneen yoon ñu ngi laa gërëm ci li nga nangoo ñëw fii ci commission bi.
We'll now take a lunch break and then resume at 3 o'clock sharp. Thank you all very much indeed. Meeting is adjourned.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
waaw Bakary mooy suma tur Badji Bakary Badji maa ngi juddoo Serekunda suma yaay jën la daan jaay so dam daan time boobu nangaan Joswang foofu la daan utee jën and mu ko daan jaay ci marché bu ndaw bi nekkoon Joswang so ñun ñu suñu bopp sax one time dañ ko daan dem dimbale ji pour enu jën yi from all Joswang andi ko kër président Barrow xam na ne xale bu set loxo laa time maire election ba ñun suñ parliamentary election bi 2017 ministre si ñoo daan génn di campagne candidate si local government ministre si ñoo daan génn di campagne candidate si léegi ñu man ma dem ñaamee pour campagne suñu MP ñu ne man waruma génn te ñoom seen nit ñi ñoo doon génn te amuñ ci problème kenn moo binda on Facebook te gis naa ko bëgguma wax turi jàmbure waaye gis naa ki ko njëkk a binda
nay leer rek nen wax
non am nga loolu fake account la sax that's the problem waaw fake account la moom moo binda ne naka he went to Nyamina and promised a stadium and never went back there but kenn du la génne le video or an audio of man fi ma waxee Nyamina dama leen dig stadium amut pour nga wax ne man dama nangu pour nekk Barrow's minister waaye nag du ma defend policy am du ma defend programs am mënta nekk I mean so people might see it different but that's the reality
so léegi yow NPP nga
waaw 100%
nga ne waxal gaay dégg waxal man Bakary Badji
ma ne loolu ma wax naa ko multiple times
waaw waaye waxalaat fii
moom laa la wax ni may la NPP la loolu kay moom
ñaata percent
and design SB printing and design dama bëgg ngeen jox ma noppa bu baax bi yéen ñi nga xam ne ni da ngeen am seen kër yi ees yéen ñi nga xam ne ni da ngeen am ay boutique wala ay salon wala lépp li ngeen xam ne ni méngoo na ak wàllu peinture ak design jokkoo leen ak ki nga xam ne ni moom mooy Uyo Seeku Bojang xarañ lool si liggéeyam xam li muy def mun ko te di ko def ak SB printing design lépp loo leen nama si xeetum design paint and everything li ngeen soxla si seen boutique seen néeg seen kër yi ees yi dama ne jokkoo leen ak moom si 331 3415 331 3415 nekk foofu sa Serekunda ci Kistown jokkoo leen ak ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñooy SB printing design ñun designal leen ba seen xol sedda li sedda sa xol ñun loolu moo ñu soxal ak SB printing design taaral sa kër taaral sa dëkkuwaay SB printing and design